The Democratic convention, well, it's going to kick off next week, and political analysts are begging Democrats, please, please, don't overload this convention with celebrities like you did with Hillary Clinton. We saw what happened with Hillary Clinton. She didn't even look like she lived in America. It was like, here's the problem. These are people who live in gated communities. These celebrities they don't sit around at dinner tables and talk about, we can't afford to buy pork chops. These are people, they live in friggin' gated communities. They have nothing in common with the American public. And so, but the Democrats think, well, we need to put them out in front of they need to be part of our team, because that's really going to encourage people to vote for us. It's just wrong thinking.
Yeah, let's get Beyonce up on stage. Let's get Taylor Swift, which, by the way, those are two names that they may be there, they may not.
Taylor Swift ain't going to show up. But she's smart.
Beyonce's the big one they want,
She's smart, too, and she isn't going to show up.
Right. They may support him, may not, but don't go to the convention.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, we all remember at the 2016 DNC, they put out that video, the fight song video.
Oh my God!
That only featured celebrities singing along to it.
So crazy.
And it's like, you guys are supposed to be the party of the labor unions,
the
party of the average working people.
Yeah.
Bring those people in if you really want to drive this thing home. Because I think
somebody normal. I mean, that's the term you're using.
Yeah.
Get somebody that. I had a drink with that guy the other day. A pretty normal guy. He thinks like it's just this disconnect. Where, for some reason, the Democrats are the worst about it. You've got to admit. I mean, we do this party thing a lot. Damn Democrats, they just thrive on it. We got to have this big celebrity. And you know what's so wrong about it? That's not why they got the vice president choice they got.
Right.
Why did they get him? They got him because he can relate to, in their belief, he's going to relate to normal people. He looks normal. He doesn't look like a celebrity. He doesn't talk like a celebrity. He's just one of the guys, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you just ruin all that when you put,
he's not the kind of guy that needs to be up on stage with John Legend,
exactly.
who is going to be performing at the DNC.
Yeah.
But look, I mean,
he's got to give a speech. John Legend, he's got to give a speech and perform.
Well, and Trump at his convention, he was introduced by Hulk Hogan. And that was...
Is that a celebrity? Real? I mean...
But that was so... weird, honestly.
Weird, yeah.
And so the Democrats, I think they also need to look at that and say, okay, we can't be those people. We cannot be the weird, creepy. Get an average voter to go and introduce Kamala. Get a labor union leader to introduce them. But they already
are that, Pete. They're already, that's already how they're viewed. And that's why I thought Tim Walz was such a great choice to say, listen, he's one of us.
Yeah.
He talks like one of us. He looks like one of us. He doesn't look like a damn celebrity. He doesn't live in a gated community and drive and fly around in private jets. He doesn't. We don't read him about him, on the Mediterranean coast this time of year. This is one of us, and I just don't know why they can't let this Democrat celebrity thing go. It was a disaster for him with Hillary. And potentially it could go wrong here, too.
Right. If the celebrities already support your party, that's great. Let them do that when they go out on their press junkets.
Yeah.
You don't have to have them at the convention. It does not show that you relate to the average everyday person at all.
People don't care about them. I mean, they really don't care. Farron, thanks for joining me, okay?
Thank you.
That's all we have time for this week, but all these segments are going to be posted right here on this channel in the coming week. So make sure you subscribe. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where every week we tell you stories that corporate media won't tell you because their advertisers won't allow for it. Or their tribal politics, it just doesn't allow for it. If they're too Republican, they don't let a Republican story out there. A Democrat, they don't mess with the Democrats. As you can tell, we don't have that problem here. We call balls and strikes as best we can. Thank you.
that it had helped dirty money flow through its branches around the world, including at least 800...
Plaintiffs allege that the defendants provided money and medical goods to terrorist groups Hezbollah and Jaish al-Mahdi.
This is a well-organized business for these individuals that carry out these attacks. Terrorism is a business, and they run it like a business.
They knew about what was going on for a decade. They absolutely, no question about it, knew that HSBC was washing money. They had every reason to understand it was for terrorism and it was for drug cartels. Took no action whatsoever.
These banks are involved. Their accounts are connected, and they're using them to mask the transactions. The more complicated they can make the transactions, the more distance they can put between the bad guys and the seemingly legitimate purpose of these funds.
They pay $1.9 billion, which is a drop in the bucket compared to what they've made, and nobody goes to prison. These CEOs, these bankers that made this decision, they're safe at home. They know what they've done. It's resulted in the death of Americans, contractors and soldiers, not just hundreds, but thousands. And we look the other way because they don't look like criminals. The die is cast. The people that are responsible are on Wall Street.
And they don't look like criminals. It's almost a suspension of disbelief. Sometimes I'll have people call me and say, is this real? Do they really get away with this? Yeah, they do.